And then 17 ends in verse 41 with this one. And this one really kind of struck me to the heart yesterday. So these nations feared the Lord and also served their carved images. Their children did likewise, and their children's children, as their fathers did, so they do to this day. Now, my great concern for us is that in a day of such vast consumption of false narratives, that the tendency you and I are going to have is to fear the Lord, but worship other gods. To combine the stories. Are you with me? To say, Jesus is Lord, but my money is mine. Jesus is Lord as long as he doesn't do anything supernatural that wigs me out. Jesus is Lord, but the United States of America is the hope of the world. Jesus is Lord, and yet I think everybody in organized religion is actually about themselves. They're in it for the money, and they're not really serving the Lord. They're just trying to fleece the flock. Jesus is Lord, but do you see how these are false narratives woven into the true story? Now, here's my appeal and my fear. I think Matt McCauley said this last week, and he said it last week. And Matt McCauley's our family minister here at the Flower Mound campus. And so, man, we're a part of this growing young cohort out at Fuller Seminary with Daryl Amon, one of our elders, Bruno, myself, Chris Groover, and Matt. And here's what we're learning. There's data now to back this up. Kids are not being secularized in college. They're being secularized at home before they're sent to college by well-meaning Christian parents that can't tease out the value balance between sports and activities and the gathering of the people of God. Like they just get disoriented by it. And I'm watching it even play out in my children's peers. Like, look, I can use my son as an example. Like my son loves football, he loves basketball, he loves it. He's disciplined around it. He's eager for it. Sometimes he doesn't want to come to church. But guess who doesn't get to decide that? Reed. You know why? Because he's 12. I don't let him choose what he gets to eat, or he would eat terribly. I don't let him choose what time he can go to bed. Right? I don't let him handle a firearm whenever he wants to. You know why? Because I'm dad, and I love him. And I've got a long view for his life that at 12, he couldn't possibly fathom. And so what ends up happening, like I'm telling you, I've got a front row seat to this right now because of the age of my kids. I just hear these nonsensical things from moms and dads. It's like, we just like trying to get them out of bed on Sunday morning. It's just like a whipping. And I just want to give him the freedom to kind of figure this stuff out. Okay, like, would you do that in any other area of your kid's life? Like if your kid was like, you know what? School, I just can't. Mom, I just can't do it. Look, the teacher's mean. I don't even understand what she's talking about. You know, out of that 7-8 hour day, we only get to play and have fun for one 45-minute block of that. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it, Mom. Like, can you imagine like going and trying to wake up your kid for school at whatever time you got to wake them up, and them just going, no, I'm not feeling, I'm not going. Oh, okay, well, never mind then. And then you, right, like to parent that way. And listen, I'm for you. I'm not against you. I'm not trying to shame you. To parent this way, this is what's true about the data. Half-hearted obedience to Jesus Christ in this generation leads to full rebellion against him in the next. Now, here's what's crazy. The kingdom of God can't be stopped. So if it's not our children live faithfully to follow Jesus and make much of his name and renown, he will save from among the lost and broken so that the kingdom continues. Don't forget, Paul didn't exist. He was Saul of Tarsus, killing Christians when Stephen was martyred, and they had no view of how this was going to play out. And what did God do? God saved from among the most broken and most dark for the glory of his name. Now I'm dedicated to as best I can, and I don't control it, helping my children see and understand what is of supreme value and what's a good gift. Like, look at me. Football is a good gift. Basketball is a good gift. Softball, soccer, good gift. Band, good gift. Terrible gods. terrible gods. I wonder sometimes if we've wrapped up our own value in it. Right? Like we need our kid to be the best at these things because it's a reflection on us. You cannot combine these two stories. They're incompatible.